Friends, good morning. My name is Alan Levine, and I have the great honor and privilege of serving as chair of the board of the Jewish Theological Seminary. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the administration, and the faculty, I am delighted to welcome you to the 126th commencement exercises of the Jewish Theological Seminary. Today is a very special day for JTS as we gather virtually to celebrate the achievements of our graduates. To our graduating students, although you are scattered across North America's physically, in this moment, we are very much together. We are holding you in our hearts. For the entire JTS community, this day is all about you. We are so proud of your accomplishments. I can imagine the beaming faces of your parents, grandparents, other relatives, and friends who are watching this ceremony with us now, filled with pride, love, and admiration. We wish a mazel tov to all of you, on having arrived at this day. The shofar blast that we heard a few moments ago is a hallmark of JTS commencement. And I thank Cornelia Dalton for blowing the shofar for us this year. Cornelia will be receiving a Master of Arts degree this morning and will be ordained as a rabbi this afternoon. This year, the call of the shofar seems particularly fitting because it evokes such a range of emotions and associations from throughout Jewish history. It is a symbol of renewal, a call to action, a warning of danger, and the sound of revelation, all in the same moment. How appropriate for the mixed emotions we are all feeling right now: excitement and anticipation, alongside disorientation and even fear. We are living through very trying times for our country, the world, and the Jewish community. The coronavirus pandemic has affected each one of us, upending our lives, our routines, and our expectation, causing great pain and tragedy for all too many. It is preventing us from being together in person today, and yet we have adjusted and found new ways to connect to each other. Despite the difficult backdrop of this moment, we have been able to come together today nonetheless to celebrate our graduates' achievements and honor the academic and spiritual journeys they have taken during their years here at JTS. It is my great honor to preside at this sacred occasion. I'm now pleased to call on Rabbi Lisa Malik to deliver the opening invocation. Rabbi Malik was ordained by JTS in 2004 and is the spiritual leader of Temple Beth Am in Aberdeen, New Jersey. She has much to be proud of today, as her daughter Eva will soon be awarded her Bachelor of Arts degree from List College. Following the invocation, Jacob Agar, Ariel Green, and Jacob Greenberg, who will be receiving Master of Sacred Music degrees this morning and will be invested as cantors this afternoon, will sing the national anthems of the United States of America and Medinat Yisrael, arranged in beautiful three-part harmony by Jacob Agar. Please note that the digital commencement program, which includes the order of exercises and speaker for today's event, can be accessed using the link posted on the same webpage on which you are now viewing this ceremony. Rabbi Malik, please.
Mishaberach Avotenu. May God, who blessed our ancestors, bless our graduates with the wisdom to apply the lessons of the fourth book of the Torah, which we began reading this week, to their future journeys. Just as the Midbar, wilderness, taught our ancestors the lessons of courage, humility, and openness, so too may our graduates bring the courage, humility, and openness that they have gained while they were students at JTS to the work they do and the passions they pursue after graduation. Just as our ancestors were counted in the book of Numbers, so too may our graduates realize just how much they count in this world, how much they can make a difference as engaged, learned Jews, proud Zionists, teachers of Torah, and leaders in other professions. Most importantly, the book of Numbers, the Midbar, taught our ancestors the lesson of gratitude, enabling them to realize that they could not take for granted the blessings of food, water, or community. These are lessons that have been reinforced in our day by the coronavirus pandemic. As the book of Tehillim teaches, Limnot Yamenu Ken Hoda Benavi Levav Chochma. Teach us to count and to appreciate every day of our lives so that we may bring to the heart some wisdom. May the graduates of the JTS class of 2020 use the wisdom that they have acquired to go from strength to strength. Mechael Chayel. Ken Yehiratzon. To the parents, grandparents, spouses, partners, and children of our graduates, we recognize and appreciate the essential role that you have played in making this day possible, and we rejoice with you as you witness the fulfillment of long-standing hopes and dreams. Please join me in reciting the Shehecheyanu blessing to mark this special occasion. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Praised are you, Hashem our God, who rules the universe, for granting us life, sustaining us, and enabling us to reach this day.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Kol balecha penima, nefesh Yehudi homiya, ulfatei mizrach kadima, ali lezion Sophia. בארצנו, ארץ ציון בירושלים, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון בירושלים.
Thank you to Jacob, Ariel, and Jacob for your beautifully sung national anthems. And thank you as well, Rabbi Malik, for your moving words, and Mazal Tov to you and the family on your daughter's graduation today. It's a special honor for me to address you all on this happy day. JTS faculty, trustees, supporters, and staff, alumni, family, and friends, and most important of all, of course, our graduates. I want to speak personally and directly to those receiving degrees at this moment, as I too prepare to close one chapter in life and move on to another. The significance of the occasion for me, and I suspect for you, lends added fervor to the wish that we could see one another's faces close up and live right now, rather than conjuring them up from memory. As I speak to you now, I am thinking back to classes that I've shared with you, to pizza dinners in the Goldsmith Lounge or the new residence hall, to much tastier pizza in my apartment, to spontaneous conversations in the hallways or cafeteria, and to frank discussions in my office about the conservative movement, the authority of Torah, our relationship to Israel, and our relationship, or lack thereof, to God. These memories remain vivid to me. They flash across the screen of my mind at this moment to the accompaniment of a soundtrack that includes spoken voices and song from thesis presentations, senior sermons, and cantorial recitals. I hope the memory of similar powerful experiences and the experience of similarly powerful memories will remind you, as they remind me, of what a privilege it has been to be part of the JTS community. It's become clear over the past few weeks just how much and how many people in America and around the world desperately crave substantive communication and connection with others. With normal channels to coming together blocked, alternate strategies to create, maintain, and enhance relationships had to be imagined and deployed. Precisely because the coronavirus suddenly made close physical contact dangerous to bodily health, concern for spiritual health impelled us to develop new modes of public and private exchange, not bounded by the limits of time and space. I hope that you, our graduates, will maintain close connection to one another and to JTS in the years to come, even as you travel ever farther from 3080 Broadway and from your student years. No less important, I hope too, that no matter whether your personal and professional lives will take you near or far, you will remain devoted builders, agents, and advocates of strong capital C communities. Jewish leaders in particular need to take on the task of developing new forms of community, physical and virtual, to suit the ever-changing conditions of our lives. The task will not be simple or uncontroversial. Many Americans, including some Jews, remain suspicious of community even in normal times. They are convinced that strong ties to others limit options for the self, curtail personal autonomy, and thereby threaten self-fulfillment. Some mistakenly believe that communal loyalties must be all-consuming and exclusive, leaving no room for other attachments and no reason to reach out to members of other communities, other cultures, other faiths. We frequently hear voices that urge us to slough off responsibility for others. Quote, their problems are their problems, not my problems, end quote. Every we arouses suspicion. Only the I is sacrosanct. The Torah thinks about community very differently. I wrote this address in the days following the Shabbat, when the double portion of Acharei Mot Kedoshim would have been read in synagogue. One thinks differently about the command to love your neighbor as yourself in the context of worldwide pandemic. What exactly does V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha demand of us and make possible here and now? I hint that the word kamocha, as yourself, refers both to the neighbor we should love and the way we should love them, comes a few verses later, when we are instructed that the stranger who resides with you shall be to you as one of your citizens. You shall love him as yourself, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Further instruction on this point has lately come, as it often does, from experience. The pandemic has forced the realization that all of us are utterly dependent upon neighbors and strangers previously taken for granted and unnoticed. Those who deliver groceries and mail to our doors, keep the subways running, teach our children, or provide healthcare at risk or cost of their lives. What is more, the concept of neighbor has been broadened far beyond those who dwell in our immediate communities. The terms international community and global neighborhood now point to incontrovertible facts of experience. We know that we are victims of a universal pandemic, that people are sheltering simultaneously in place almost everywhere, and that all are dependent for deliverance upon scientists working in dozens of countries and sharing breakthroughs the minute they occur. Both of these enlarged communities, local and global, arouse a sense of responsibility that the Torah strives to capture in the command to love the neighbor. In English, the neighbor is a direct object or recipient of love. In Hebrew, the neighbor is indirect object. Love reaches out in the lamed of l'reacha, creating a relationship, building a community marked by shared responsibility. That love involves not only feelings of kinship, but acts of kindness and fair treatment. This sort of community does not allow for the notion that the poor are somehow meant to be poor, or that the powerless should just stay that way. In one of my favorite passages of the Talmud, a Roman general asked Rabbi Akiba, as he puts him to death for the crime of teaching Torah, quote, "If God loves the poor so much, why doesn't God take care of them?" End quote. The answer ultimately comes not in disputation on the matter, though there is some of that, but in commanded acts of love. It's not easy to know how to do good in this world. After years of study at JTS, you know the Jewish texts and history testify to the complexity of the task we face in trying to leave the world better than we found it. But those same texts, that same history, urge on us the conviction that the work has to be attempted nonetheless, despite our own glaring imperfection, for all that the problems we face are immense, and for all that on some bleak days we're tempted to give up hope, we have to try to love with all we have, heart and soul, as well as mind and might. Our personal fulfillment depends on this effort every bit as much as the fulfillment of the Torah's demands. I believe that our shared determination to undertake this effort time and again, guided in part by Jewish tradition, assisted by human wisdom, and in concert with every ally we can find, is a big part of what unites us as a JTS community for life. In dark times like these, it matters more than ever that the bush of Torah burns bright and is not consumed. Mazal tov, my fellow students. L'chu shalom. Go well.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Before we confer the degrees in course, I would like to call your attention to the digital commencement program, where you will find the listing of prizes that have been awarded to the students of our 5 schools. We congratulate all those who have been so honored. The digital program also celebrates the JTS class of 1970, whom we congratulate today on reaching the 50th anniversary of their graduation from JTS. We now turn to conferring the degrees in course, which will be awarded by school in the following order: the Gershon Kekst Graduate School, the William Davidson Graduate School of Jewish Education, the Albert A. List College of Jewish Studies, the H.L. Miller Cantorial School and College of Jewish Music, and the Rabbinical School. The dean or director of each school will present the candidates, and the chancellor will then confer the degrees by the authority vested in the JTS Board of Trustees by the Board of Regents of the University of the State of New York. Mr. Chancellor, in my role as Sala and Walter Schlesinger Dean, I'm pleased to present to you the candidates for degrees in the Gershon Kekst Graduate School, which will award today the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Hebrew Literature, and Master of Arts. We will begin with the conferral of the doctoral degrees. The following candidates have completed with due and appropriate satisfaction all of the required academic programs and examinations which qualify them for doctoral degrees in the Gershon Kekst Graduate School. Candidates are sponsored by members of the faculty who have helped guide the student studies and research. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Robert Scheinberg, candidate for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in course. He has successfully defended an original dissertation entitled Seligman Bear's Seder Avodat Yisrael, 1868, Liturgy, Ideology, and the Standardization of Nusach Ashkenaz. Dr. Menachem Schmelzer, Albert B. and Bernice Cohen Professor Emeritus of Medieval Hebrew Literature and Jewish Bibliography, and Dr. Ismar Shorsh, Rabbi Herman Abramowitz Distinguished Service Professor of Jewish History and Chancellor Emeritus are his sponsors. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Helene Herman Krupnik, candidate for the degree of Doctor of Hebrew Literature in course. She has successfully completed an original dissertation entitled The Newish Jewish Way of Death, Contemporary Trends in Death and Funeral Customs Among Liberal American Jews. Dr. Jack Wertheimer, Joseph and Martha Mendelsohn Professor of American Jewish History, is her sponsor. Mr. Chancellor, I now present the candidates who have satisfactorily fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Arts in the Gershon Kekst Graduate School. Maxine Leah Berman. Ashley Brocious. Josiah Micah Calise, with distinction. Ariana Kaptauber. Benjamin Haber Kamine, with distinction. David Jerome Lerner. Ze'ev Moshe Tzvi Lowenberg. Andrew Siegel. Alan Henry Stern. Lori Florence Laska Sumberg. Ira Daniel Tokayer. Aaron Lipson Walker.
Thank you, Dr. Schwartz. Robert Scheinberg, upon recommendation of the faculty, which recognizes your scholarly accomplishments, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, which you have earned in course. We congratulate you upon your achievement. Helene Herman Krupnik, upon recommendation of the faculty, which recognizes your scholarly accomplishments, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Hebrew Literature, which you have earned in course. We congratulate you upon your achievement. Candidates for the degree of Master of Arts, you have completed the prescribed course of instruction and have fulfilled the language, research, and other requirements of the Gershon Kekst Graduate School of JTS. In recognition of these accomplishments and acting upon the recommendation of the faculty and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree of Master of Arts, which you have earned in course, and welcome you to the company of scholars. I now call upon Dr. Helene Herman Krupnik to speak on behalf of the Kekst Graduate School graduates.
Chancellor Eisen, Provost Schwartz, faculty, Chairman of the Board Levine, family, friends, and fellow graduates. I am so honored to speak on behalf of my fellow graduating students of the Kekst Graduate School. Today is a dream come true for me and all of today's graduates. Of course, it is playing out differently than any of us could have envisioned, but nonetheless, the significance of this moment is unchanged. In an old beloved Israeli song begins, Bevet chalomotai asher b'rosh kiva, in my dream house atop a hill. In truth, JTS has been my dream house on the hill of Morningside Heights, the place I've come to fulfill my dreams throughout my life. As a 16-year-old yeshiva graduate, I entered JTS where my father and uncle had been ordained and found my intellectual and spiritual home. I found a seminary on the cusp of change as we young women, early donners of talit and tefillin, pushed for egalitarian innovation within the seminary and the conservative movement. In the halls of Matilda Schechter and Goldsmith, I found my people, and also found the boy who is now my husband, Aaron Krupnik. Together at JTS, we fulfilled our dreams, his of becoming a rabbi, and mine a master's degree in Jewish history. When we left to start our lives beyond the seminary walls, I harbored a dream that maybe someday, when the time was right, I could reach higher and return to pursue a doctorate. But that dream was put aside while the other joys of life happened. And then the time was right. It took 30 years, but it was time for a new challenge, an intellectual boost, time to come home to JTS, to immerse myself in the seminary's signature style of critical academic rigor from its unique Jewish perspective. And quite the challenge it has been. As an older, returning student, beginning a doctoral program, there was a steep learning curve. In a word, technology. But I also surprised myself by how differently I approached my studies this go-round, bringing greater life experience and appreciation overall. Pursuing advanced studies with professors who are brilliant and accessible, digging deeper into areas of interest, gaining exposure to new ideas and approaches has been a sheer joy. And researching, writing, and seeing through to completion my doctoral thesis has been the most demanding and gratifying accomplishment of my life, one which enriches my own professional skills as I continue teaching on the university level. A dream come true. And mine is only one story. For all of us graduates, today is a dream that was brought to life through vision, determination, and hard work, and with the guidance of JTS's devoted faculty. With gratitude, we will take the lessons we learned here, carry them forward, and continue to dream.
Thank you for your remarks, Helene, and congratulations. The William Davidson Graduate School of Jewish Education awards the degrees of Doctor of Education and Master of Arts. We will begin with the conferral of doctoral degrees. Each of the following candidates has completed with due and appropriate satisfaction all the required academic programs and examinations which qualify her for the degree of Doctor of Education in the William Davidson Graduate School of Jewish Education. These three candidates are sponsored by Dr. Jeffrey S. Kress, Dr. Bernard Heller Chair in Jewish Education, who has helped guide their studies and research. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Education in course. Yael Evan Marat, who has successfully defended an original dissertation entitled Co-Teaching Hebrew in a Jewish Day School. Wendy Patricia Grinberg, who has successfully defended an original dissertation entitled Jewish Education at Eisner Camp, 1993 to 2018, Goals, methods, and forces for stasis and change. Laura Jillian Herman, who has successfully defended an original dissertation entitled The Jewish and Professional Identities of a Group of Jewish Educators, Boundaries and Connections. Mr. Chancellor, I am now privileged to present the candidates who have satisfactorily fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Arts in the William Davidson Graduate School of Jewish Education. Maxine Leah Berman. Douglas Jeremy Brooke. Lynn Ann Cutler. Diana Michelle Diner. Ethan C. Goldberg. Rachel Greenwald. Angela Bibian Levy. Anya Morgulis. Allison Sophie Moses. Leah Nagar Powers. Deborah Margalit Pollock. Hannah Clarice Rikus. Monica Fleur Singletary. Yodfat Smear Mandil. Erica Velasquez. Aaron Lipson Walker.
Thank you, Dr. Epstein. Candidates for the degree of Doctor of Education, upon recommendation of the faculty, which recognizes your scholarly accomplishments, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Education, which you have earned in course. We congratulate you upon your achievement. Candidates for the degree of Master of Arts, you have completed the prescribed course of instruction and have fulfilled the language, research, and other requirements of the William Davidson Graduate School of Jewish Education. You have chosen a sacred vocation. Your energy, learning, and talent bode well for the future of the Jewish people, the teaching of Torah, and the thriving of the human spirit. In recognition of your accomplishments and acting upon the recommendation of the faculty and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree of Master of Arts, which you have earned in course, and welcome you to the field of Jewish education. I now call upon Allison Moses to speak on behalf of the William Davidson School graduates.
In Pirkei Avot, it says, "Make for yourself a teacher, acquire for yourself a friend, and judge every person favorably." As I reflect on my time as a Davidson student, this teaching captures the essence of what this experience has been for me. Make for yourself a teacher. As a school for educators, there's no better way to learn how to be an effective educator than from a cohort of incredibly talented faculty who serve as role models in shaping the next generation of prepared and passionate Jewish educational leaders. As I embark on my next adventure as the Assistant Director of Camp Ramah in Northern California, I credit my teachers for giving me the skills and knowledge to step into this leadership role. Not only has Davidson given me an education, but a holistic experience nourished by the relationships I have built with my teachers as future partners in the project of Jewish education. From their example, I have learned that teaching is about more than just content. It is about building relationships and truly caring about the students in your classroom or the staff members on your team, a quality that I strive to embody, serving as a source of guidance and mentorship for a staff of young adults as they begin to develop, grow, and flourish into strong leaders and educators in our camp community. Acquire for yourself a friend. Studying at JTS is about more than just the learning that takes place in the classroom. It's about building and belonging to a special community that shares your passion for Jewish learning and vibrant Jewish life. The people I have met across the schools have become more than just my fellow classmates. What the current situation has taught me is that the relationships I've built will endure long beyond the time spent in the walls of JTS. Grounded in a shared passion, the community I have gained here will forever be a network of professional colleagues friendship, and support that will carry and sustain each and every one of us as we go on to shape the Jewish world. And judge every person favorably. What this experience has led me to realize most of all are the values encompassed in what it means to be a good educator and Jewish role model. As we close this chapter and move on to the next, I'm confident that in whatever life brings, we are all carrying with us the mentorship, strength of community, and values of a JTS education. Now it's time to take on the Jewish world by storm and make this institution proud of everything we've become and will become. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Thank you for your remarks, Allison, and congratulations. Dear graduates, before we turn to celebrating each of you, I would like to remember your classmate, Hannah Weiss, Zichrona Livracha, who died tragically in the winter of her sophomore year. Hannah was a dedicated student, a kind and generous person passionately committed to the environment, and a beloved member of the class of 2020. We feel her absence acutely today, but know deeply that her memory is a blessing for all. Mr. Chancellor, it is now my privilege to present the successful and spectacular candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the Albert A. List College of Jewish Studies. Jillian Lee Axelrod. Molly Ilana Ball. Emma Alexandra Bellows with honors. Yona Noam Benjamin. Justin Michael Bogoslavsky. Maya Clara Katan. Bennett Decker. Uriel Eppelbaum. Rachel Sasson Fisher with honors. Gavin Gartenberg. Liat Goldfarb. Yalon David Gordon. Noam Green. Sarah Grzbinski. Sarah Rachel Haken. Ariel Esther Herman. Jenna Beth Marks. Paige Carolyn Moskowitz. Daniel Moss with honors. Alana Libby Naim. Susan Melissa Palevsky. Aaron Joseph Pickard. Kayla Lauren Pollock. Gabriel Aaron Pont. Sarah Ann Rebarber. Daniela Roijman. Noah R. Rubin. Shoshana Chava Cernik. Ariel Chaya Solomon. Spencer J. Swalsbenest with honors. Bryce Matthew Tischler. David Gabriel Treatman. Devora Leah Treatman. Yoav Rachamim Varadi with honors. Ava Weiner. Andrew Jacob Yablonsky. Alexander Zachary Zuckerman.
Thank you, Dr. Kamenowski. Members of the List College graduating class, the degree you receive today represents a double achievement in humanities studies. Not only have you completed the rigorous JTS undergraduate course of study, but you've amassed a minimum of 60 liberal arts credits, and often more than that. You accomplished this in either our joint program with Columbia University or our double degree program with Barnard College, for which you received an additional Bachelor of Arts degree at the Columbia graduation. The faculty, therefore, takes special pride in recognizing your accomplishment. It is now my privilege, members of the undergraduate class of 2020, acting upon the recommendation of the faculty, which recognizes your successful completion of the course of study in the Albert A. List College of Jewish Studies, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, to confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Arts, which you have earned in course. We congratulate you on your hard-won achievement. I now call upon Daniela Roisman to speak on behalf of the List College graduates.
I feel so honored to speak because of how proud I am of the class of 2020, the most resilient and dedicated people and biggest change makers I know. We chose to study at List College because we cared deeply about what we could learn here. We came in ready to grow through our studies and struggle with the issues of our time, and prepared ourselves in order to meet them. And despite how ready we may have felt, no one could have prepared us for what these 4 years would hold. And we've struggled with religion, politics, our communities, our identities, the realities of the world, all while using each other to figure out the issues that get to the core of who we are as Jews and citizens of the world. We arrived at List College with unique perspectives, practices, and hopes, but we all shared a thirst for secular and Jewish learning. And we found our assumptions challenged and our knowledge deepened on so many fronts. We took our studies and inspiration from our faith to transform our world. We mobilized students to vote, researched cures for difficult diseases, produced theater, interned for NASA, fought against hunger and for labor justice, and so much more. And our class has experienced enormous changes in the world at large and in our world at JTS. Through these changes, we made our voices known and ensured that our best interests were heard. We faced unimaginable tragedy following the death of one of our classmates. Hannah Weiss encapsulated the best of what List College had to offer: passion, intellect, hard work, and love. Like many of you, getting to know and love Hannah were some of the best parts of college. After her death, we embraced each other and worked to create change in her honor. I know she would have unique insight for us today, and we miss her terribly during this moment of transition. And once again, we've been handed an incredibly difficult situation with coronavirus. No one could have imagined that our senior year would be cut so short, and that our final goodbyes to each other, our professors, and the institutions within which we've grown so much would happen online. There are so many unknowns and challenges ahead, but I have seen us overcome in 4 years what many don't in a lifetime. I know that as we have done so many times before, our class will meet these challenges, grow stronger, and use them to create change. Class of 2020, if there is any group of people that I know will make the most of this unfortunate situation, it is you. We will be the people who, using our deep learning and passions, will create the change necessary to move our world forward. We need to be. And I cannot wait to be there, even virtually, to see it happen. Congratulations, and thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you for your remarks, Daniela, and congratulations. Mr. Chancellor, at a ceremony this afternoon, the H.L. Miller Cantorial School and College of Jewish Music will invest 3 graduates as chazanim. These students have also successfully completed the requirements for the degree of Master of Sacred Music in the school, and I am honored to present them to you for those degrees. Jacob Agar, Ariel Shira Green, Jacob Greenberg.
Thank you, Cantor Abramson. Candidates for the degree of Master of Sacred Music, you have completed the prescribed course of instruction and have fulfilled the research and other requirements of the H.L. Miller Cantorial School and College of Jewish Music. In recognition of these accomplishments and acting upon the recommendation of the faculty and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Sacred Music, which you have earned in course, and welcome you to the company of scholars. I would like to recognize your investiture as chazanim this afternoon. May you be blessed with these words from our high holiday liturgy, a prayer said by members of the congregation on behalf of their leaders. Be'or panecha yehalechun, berach lecha yichruun, amcha befihem yevorchun, umivirchot picha kulam yitbarechun. May they walk in the light of your spirit, and by their blessings, may we all be blessed. Mazal Tov.
Mr. Chancellor, at a ceremony this afternoon, the Rabbinical School will ordain the following 9 graduates as rabbis. Samuel William Bluston, Ariana Kapp-Tauber, Dina Shira Cowens, Cornelia Emily Dalton, Jessica Aaron Fisher, Mary Brett Copland, David Jerome Lerner, Shoshi Levin Goldberg, Zev Moshe Tzvi Lowenberg. Several of these students were awarded a Master of Arts degree from the Gershon Kekst Graduate School this morning, or earned a graduate degree previously. I now have the privilege to present to you the students among those being ordained this afternoon who have successfully completed the requirements for the degree of Master of Arts in the Rabbinical School. Samuel William Bluston, Dina Shira Cowens, Cornelia Emily Dalton, Jessica Aaron Fisher, and Mary Brett Copland.
Thank you, Rabbi Nevins. Candidates for the degree of Master of Arts, you have completed the prescribed course of instruction and have fulfilled the research and other requirements of the Rabbinical School. In recognition of these accomplishments and acting upon the recommendation of the faculty and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Arts, which you have earned in course, and welcome you to the company of scholars. I would like now to recognize all who will be ordained as rabbis this afternoon. May you be blessed with a Talmudic blessing conferred by Rabbi Ami on his students when they departed from the academy. Siftotecha yabiun dat, v'chiyotecha ta'alozna mesharim, ufamecha yarutzu lishmoa, divrei atik yomin. Let your lips communicate knowledge. May you rejoice in the right with all your heart. May you always run to the commands of God. Mazal Tov. I now call upon Ariana Kapp-Tauber to speak on behalf of the Rabbinical School graduates.
It has been 40 years of wandering,
120 years of living, and an eternity of waiting. Moses stands at the top of Har HaEvarim, the mountain of transitions, and looks out at the land of Israel. This is the land that his life's journey has led to, the land where his people will settle and be with God. He will only glimpse it, never enter. He feels bitter and disappointed. Why look out over this land if he can't be in it? He will never breathe the air on those green mountains, never taste the milk or the honey. So God has decreed. A voice says, "Turn around." Moses pivots. Before him lies the vast desert, all sand dunes and endless sky. Beyond it lies Egypt, the land of his birth and his people's affliction. Then the waters that parted as they crossed. Then Sinai, a small mountain of thundering power. Then desert. Scenes flash before him, the golden calf, the broken tablets, the manna that came like morning dew, the spy's fateful report, and that cursed, watery rock that left him standing here, punished, alone, withheld. Moses looks at the base of the mountain. There are the people in their tents, the golden Mishkan at the center of the camp. How beautiful. His eyes fill with tears. He will never be in the land. He knows that now. But how much he has seen, how many trials, how many triumphs. His journey lies before him like a map, part of a continuum of journeys that led his people to this place and will lead them far beyond. Fellow graduates, today we stand atop the mountain. Like Moses, we are frustrated at the ways that we are withheld, seeing one another on screen and not in person, grieving the moments that we will not have together. Yet perched atop our considerable accomplishments, we have a wide vista. Out ahead, we see a changed landscape and wonder at its dangers. But turn around, see the vast expanse we have traveled. Remember the trials we overcame, the triumphs we celebrated with song, the Torah we tasted, the scholarship we read, the words we wrote, sang, and prayed have all prepared us for what lies ahead. We are not alone. Our paths are connected to all who walked before us and all who will walk after. Throughout this virtual commencement, you have seen the faces of your people. Our peers, professors, administrators, friends, and family who supported us on this journey are here. How beautiful this gathering, how resilient, how holy. Graduation is called commencement, which also means beginning. Our Torah cycle shows us that every end is also a beginning. Just as we finish reading the last parsha, standing beside Moses as he dies on the mountain of transition, we begin the first parsha, witnessing the birth of humankind. The last letter of the Torah scroll is Lamed. The first letter is Bet. Connected, these letters spell Lev, or heart. Let us carry the heart-filling and heart-breaking aspects of this ending into our new beginning, as we journey into the unknown land. Let this moment be a circle, be a touch point of beginning and end, and let us take heart.
Congratulations to all our graduates and kol hakavod to the speakers. In addition to marking the completion of your studies, today we mark another significant transition. This is the last commencement for Dr. Arnold Eisen as president of the faculty and chancellor of JTS. Arnie's tenure as our 7th chancellor reflects an extraordinary 13 years in the storied history of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. We want to pause at this moment to express our deep gratitude to Arnie for his leadership and service to our community and to the broader Jewish world. Provost Shuli Schwartz will offer some words about Arnie's tenure, followed by my own personal tribute.
It's a privilege to publicly honor Chancellor Eisen as he steps down next month. Over the past 13 years, he has profoundly reshaped JTS, amplifying and expanding our resources in order to meet the needs of today's Jewish community. As a Jewish studies scholar, Chancellor Eisen had long admired JTS, and he possessed an insider's appreciation for Jewish studies. Once at the helm, he enthusiastically supported and amplified award-winning faculty scholarship, began the process of replenishing our faculty through several stellar hires, and vastly expanded opportunities for faculty to impact the wider community. Chancellor Eisen has always loved interacting with the faculty, and we look forward to embracing him as a JTS faculty colleague after his well-deserved sabbatical. Chancellor Eisen also loved engaging with JTS students in all our schools. The List College students who embody the hyphenated American Jewish identity by earning degrees at both Columbia and Barnard and JTS. The Kekst students who wowed him with their sophisticated thinking and passionate commitment to academics, challenging him to rethink his understanding of a text, idea, or moment in light of new research or methodologies. Davidson students whose creativity and pedagogic excellence reassured him that Jews from preschool age through adulthood would be transformed through their passionate leadership. Cantorial students whose inspired tefillot and Jewish music would stir his soul. And rabbinical students whose commitment to Torah, mitzvot, and the Jewish people gave him such hope in the future of American Jewish religious life. And he loved to teach JTS students. Despite his ever-expanding responsibilities, Chancellor Eisen made time to teach courses and was never happier than when he walked back to his office after class, having been intellectually challenged and inspired by our students. Above all, Chancellor Eisen was eager to expand JTS's reach to the broader Jewish community, and his dramatic success in this area is evident in so many ways. Thousands are now touched regularly by JTS's unique approach to engaged, critical scholarship, either in person or via JTS Torah Online, webinars, online courses, lunch series, and podcasts. Finally, under Chancellor Eisen's administration, we have a new JTS campus that physically embodies the importance of inspired learning, serious scholarship, and engaged community, so essential to who we are. For the last 2 years as provost, I've had the privilege of working more closely with Chancellor Eisen, and I've gotten to experience at close range the depth of his love and commitment to JTS. His deep respect for our faculty, fondness for our students, kindness and concern for everyone who works at JTS, vast admiration for the trustees, and enormous pride in our alumni. His desire to impact each and every JTS constituency for the better, while never losing sight of the need to do what he can to improve the larger community, touches all those who work with him, inspiring us all to do better. We have been privileged to benefit from his leadership, and we are grateful to him for leaving a legacy that we can proudly build upon in the years ahead as we move JTS from strength to strength.
Thank you, Shuli, for those beautiful remarks. The public health crisis we now face and the social isolation necessary to alleviate it has led all of us to focus on our relationships and on the words we use to communicate, to comfort, to teach, to learn, and to inspire. We have discovered that the bonds that connect us transcend any physical space. Yet we have also come to appreciate as never before the places we love, the place we study, the place we pray, and the places we gather. We now understand more than ever the profound impact all of these places have on the relationships we form and the communities we create. I am sure that for all of you, the relationships you formed at JTS, as well as JTS, the physical space, both played a very big part in your experience here. We look forward to celebrating with you the class of 2020 at our beautiful new 21st century campus as soon as circumstances allow. Since we are not at the new campus today, I will hold off for now on paying full tribute to the Chancellor for his bold vision and leadership that resulted in this enormous contribution to JTS, our new 21st century campus. Instead, in acknowledging Arnie's tenure, I want to highlight the way he has inspired us, the sense of meaning and connectedness he brought to our community. Even more than our new physical space, these may be his greatest accomplishments. Arnie's trademark qualities, the force of his intellect, his ability to inspire, and the genuine decency of his personality have made an impact that has been recognized here at JTS and in the broader community in New York, North America, and Israel. On campus at 3080 Broadway, Arnie taught and mentored hundreds of undergraduates, graduate students, and future clergy. Under his leadership, the Rabbinical Assembly's Committee on Law and Jewish Standards, Responsum, on gay and lesbian relationships, was translated into JTS's admission policies, welcoming a new generation of rabbinical and cantorial students who have transformed not only our student body and our institution, but indeed, the entire Jewish community. It's not surprising that the National Ramah Commission held a worldwide online plenary session earlier this month to acknowledge Arnie's immense contributions to the Ramah camps, or that BBYO, which hosts the nation's largest Jewish youth convention with over 5,000 participants, has invited Arnie as their keynote speaker for the last 4 years because his message resonates with the next generation. This personal outreach has produced results at home as well, with List College now in demand by a much broader cross-section of North America's Jewish youth. Arnie has traveled extensively in North America and Israel, teaching and lecturing in synagogues and schools and at national and international conferences, spreading our vital approach to Judaism and to wider audiences. JTS's relationship with the interfaith community has always been a special one dating at least as far back as Chancellor Finkelstein's tenure in the 1950s. Arnie continued this tradition and expanded on it, establishing new relationships with members of the African American community in neighboring Harlem. Like his role model, Professor Abraham Joshua Heschel, Arnie marched with the Black community in solidarity. Thanks to his outreach and commitment, our relationships with our neighbors have never been stronger. I am celebrating my 20th year as trustee of this special institution. And I was privileged to sit on the search committee in 2006 when Arnie was selected as the 7th chancellor to succeed a man of great distinction and esteem in his own right, Chancellor Ismar Schorsch. Looking back over these 14 years, I can say confidently, Arnie, that you met and exceeded our expectations. On behalf of the current and former trustees who have had the benefit of serving during the years of your tenure, I want to express our deep gratitude to you for your dedication and service, and to your partner Ace for all she has done to support and further the mission of JTS. For me, these last 5 years as chair of the board have been an inspiring and productive partnership, as rewarding an assignment as I have had in my lifetime. This is a tribute to you, Arnie. The celebration will await our return to 3080 when we toast your achievements with the rescheduled opening of our new campus. In the meantime, enjoy your new grandson and your family. Kol hakavod, my friend. Having offered tribute to Chancellor Eisen for his years of leadership of JTS, we now turn back to our new graduates, and I offer each and every one of you my personal congratulations. To you, to your families, and on behalf of the faculty, the administration, and the Board of Trustees, I thank you all for joining us and sharing this very exciting and meaningful day. I declare these 126th commencement exercises of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America to be concluded. But don't turn off the broadcast just yet. Please stay with us for a festive closing montage of more photos of our graduates and words of tribute from their loved ones. Dear graduates, JTS has sent each of you a champagne flute, expressing our wish that we could have celebrated in person together today. I raise a toast to you and your promising futures as scholars, educators, lay leaders, cantors, and rabbis. We have great confidence in you, and we can't wait to see the impact of your leadership on the Jewish community and the larger world. L'chaim.
Thank you.